And here we go.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Mike from the Super Wheeler Bros, and we are back with another review of the event series of Prison Break, the 5th season, and today we're going to take a look at the 3rd episode entitled The Liar. Now, this episode definitely had some very Prison Break type tropes in it, and I loved it. It was really enjoyable. There was kind of 3 interloping stories. Probably the least interesting one is definitely the one involving Sarah back in the States. But it's still very interesting. This is where a lot of the plot development is happening behind the scenes. Because with Michael and Lincoln's story over in Ogajia, you're really just kind of getting things moving forward. A little bit of backplotting between Michael and his fellow inmates, and Lincoln trying to work towards getting Michael out. Where you're really getting kind of what's going on and why things are where they're at in the show is during Sarah's portion of the story. And while it's not quite as exciting, it's definitely unfolding the story, and it is really important. T-Bag kind of corners her, and it's good to see him back again. And I guess it seems Michael, Canyon Aldis, paid for T-Bag's surgery to get his hand fixed there. Don't know why that is. Couldn't tell you exactly, but I'm sure that we'll get some more enlightenment on that here very soon. But he does warn her that Poseidon, the person that is behind all of this, has got his henchmen still on Sarah, the ones that tried to come after her in the 1st episode. What was interesting about this development is that Sarah, using her brains that she has definitely learned from Michael, and she's a very smart character as well. I don't mean to impugn her intelligence, but a lot of these little tricks she's used has definitely come in handy from Michael in her time on the run with him. And I really enjoyed the way that she found out that Kellerman is not being above board here. Kellerman may be a lot more involved in this scheme than initially thought. Michael dropped a little bit of a hint that he was in there to try and pull the bad guy out of there, Ramon, the guy who's the really bad, big bad in Yemen there. That was part of a scheme to pull him out and get him back because of the government, and he was doing all of this for Sarah. Don't know what that could have been. Maybe that ties into the huge plot hole that has arisen so far. If you've seen the rest of the series, is that why is Sarah not in jail or having to hide herself from escaping jail? Even if she was acquitted, she should probably still be sent back to jail for breaking out. So I don't know. Maybe this will tie into that, why that hasn't really been an issue. That portion of the story is definitely unfolding some very intriguing elements, and I love that, and it's definitely classic Prison Break. Lincoln's portion of the story was really good. Him and Shiva have some very good chemistry, and I really enjoy their interaction. I thought that portion where they were on the verge of not being able to get to Michael, and C-Note trying to assist with Whip's father's quest in getting the lights turned off so that they could escape, was definitely a really minor thing that happened this week. But Lincoln and Shiva, they have great chemistry, and though their portion of the episode was very minor this week, I enjoyed everything that happened with them as well. Definitely some exciting moments, a couple good fight scenes, so that was good. And I'm glad that she's finally warming up to Lincoln and seeing that he is being honest with her, so that we can kind of move the story forward instead of creating another unnecessary piece of drama when there's already so much going on. And of course, Michael's portion of the story where he is once again manipulating people and he's the liar. You trusted the liar was the key line there. It ends up being a really exciting episode where so much is happening in the prison and so much is happening outside the prison with Lincoln that I thought the pacing was great this week, because I thought that this was barely half hour. I was wanting more, and that is a really good thing. And I thought that they did a really good job of making all the characters that are populating the prison seem more lifelike and less like caricatures this week. You know, everybody just wants to get out of there, and everybody wants to leave before the country falls. And that's their main primary concern, is to get back to their families. And it ends with the prison break going through, but it doesn't end up working out, and Michael and his cellmates get caught. And it led to the best scene of the episode, where Michael has the phone still from his cellmate, and he records a message to Sarah. And it was amazingly acted by Wentworth Miller. Great job. I think he does a lot of his best acting when it's introspective, but I really like it when he lets loose on things like this, showing a little bit more emotion, because he can do it, and he's good at it. And it was good so that he doesn't always seem one note, because sometimes Wentworth Miller can come off like that. You know, Lincoln always has the, you know, fluctuating temperament, so it's easier for Dominic Purcell to seem a little bit more well-rounded, because he's not just laser focused in one note. Wentworth Miller did a really good job in that scene, and I loved his heartfelt speech to Sarah, and basically begging them to make sure that they don't put Caniel Aldis on his gravestone. And I can't wait to get more on what exactly Michael did and why he had to become Caniel Aldis, and where he ended up here and how. I can't wait for that story to unfold. And as he asks to just still be called Michael Schofield, which is the man he's always been, and that he loves Sarah. And I thought that was just a great way to close the episode. And next week it looks like maybe Lincoln's just going to go in there and try and get him out when it implodes. So we're going to see how that all unfolds. And I can't wait to see what happens next week. I really can. If I was going to score this week's episode of Prison Break, I would give it a 9 out of 10. We are definitely trending upwards, and that is a great thing. Each successive episode has gotten way better than the previous one, and that's what you want. That is definitely what you want out of a TV show, and Prison Break always seems to be on the uptick, starting kind of mellow and then getting rolling and progressively getting each episode more and more intense, and that is what we want. Tell me what you guys thought of the latest episode of Prison Break in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review and you want to see more, and perhaps you want to see more of our segments on the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. My name is Mike from the Super Wheeler Bros, and as always, my friends, have yourselves a super week.